Dior, if it's time, because it is, the CCA is indeed back and ready to go. Because you guys are running a fall circuit, kind of similar to what you guys did last year, right?
Yes, we are bringing back the circuit. It was the event that we ran last fall in place of the league. Just, admittedly, the first time we brought it up is because we felt like we needed a little bit of a change of pace. The league is great, but when you do it for 7 seasons in a row, it does get a little bit stale. So we wanted something that was a little bit faster paced. Teams weren't confined to playing 5 teams in a given semester. And the circuit was our solution to one, allowing teams to play more matches against more opponents, provide them more opportunities to make adjustments and such. And as well as introducing the idea of a dynamic division, because folks always love their divisions. They get so attached to them. Like it's something that they were born with and, have to represent the rest of their life. So that's where the idea of the circuit really came from, was to solve those 2 problems that the community regularly faces. So we brought it back. We learned a lot from the first iteration of the circuit, and now we're making some adjustments. We're trying to cut down the runtime of a given qualifier, because qualifiers were averaging 4 hours, and we had 5 of them. So now,
come on, these kids
cut down the time a little bit.
We got to get them trained up for the next thing.
I know. Honestly, at this point, like once we saw like how the NA League shook out, well, 1, we were very glad to decide to run on Sundays, and 2, we were like, damn, like 8 hours, like the 3 and the 3.5 that we're running for our qualifiers is nothing apparently. So
yeah.
I'm just starting to imagine college, for some reason, college kids wanting to play in the NA League. I'm like, why are you doing this? You should be studying right now. right now. That's just my.
Hey, shout out to the llamas, the NCCS llamas. TZS decided to make it a little thing this semester, or for the NA League, I guess. That we always value making the most of your tournament runs and playing way more matches than you reasonably should to get the result that you ultimately get. So we are going to recognize every week the team that does play the most ladder matches. And this week it was the NCCS Llamas at 13 sets in 3 hours, which is actually really impressive, given that I believe teams typically, when they did the 4-hour ladders, is typically pushed to like 16. So the llamas were very efficient, and they were great this week in the NA League. I'm excited to see how they do in the CCA.
What? 13 sets in 3 hours.
Oh, yeah. The number of sets that teams get in when it's just 2 games of turf war that they have to play is incredible. That is not the case here. When it's 2 games of random turf war at that, numbers get up there.
They certainly do. But yeah, I mean, with the circuit though, we are making a couple of those adjustments. And we are also going to have 6 qualifiers. Again, we might be slightly kicking ourselves now that we know that how the NA League is working out, because that's just a lot of Splatoon every single weekend. But we're excited about it. We've also introduced this idea of a split format. So we're going to have 3 qualifiers in the first split, and then 3 qualifiers in the second split. Between the 2 splits, that's where the dynamic divisions kick in. So teams that do really well in their division in the first split can actually promote to the division above them. And they'll be able to possibly even qualify for the circuit finals for the division above them, because they did so well in the first split. So I do think that this actually introduces a lot of really fun dynamics that continues to push teams forward. I know one of the issues that comes up from time to time with divisions is that, teams sometimes they don't want to, push past Div 5 because then they're going to get low ink ban. But we've now created incentive to do well in your division and then go chase the next goal immediately within the same season to start pushing yourself. And even if they ultimately fail, they still qualified for, say Division 3 in the first split, and they can go play in the circuit finals in Division 3. And, even on top of that, we've introduced the last chance qualifier, because those are always fun in every other esport. So we're gonna take our own shot at it. And then of course bringing back the circuit finals format, that modified Swiss, whatever you want to call it, early elimination Swiss. I've heard a billion different names for it. I don't know what you all call it.
Are you trying to take like nearly every format that Riot has ever done with League of Legends and Valorant and trying to squish it all into one?
Hey, honestly, we need more like tournament creativity within the Splatoon scene. And with the CCA, we've always taken the approach of we are not afraid to try something as long as we can make an educated approach to it. And we did very well with how we approached the circuit. Yes, there was a few hiccups and whatever. The point system wasn't particularly great. Dynamic divisions was a little too dynamic. But we hit gold on the modified Swiss. And I think a lot of teams love it. You know, we talked with Sendu. Sendu implemented it into his platform. We can now run modified Swiss there, and other orgs can do the same. Now, of course, I already have a feeling that there's going to be a number of TOs that go out there and they're like, let's run this. And they're going to run it with like some janky number, like 19 teams, because they think this is a cool idea. And they're going to realize real quick, they're like, wow, this tournament format sucks. No, this is one of those things where you do the research. If the tournament format sucks, it's because you're the problem. So, you know,
that's
do your
real.
homework.
That's real.
Yes, do your homework about tournament formats. Like, not every tournament format has a seat at the table for what you're trying to do.
It almost sounds like, in a way, remember how we were talking about team comps and how team comps don't always fit the players?
Yes.
maybe every tournament shouldn't be modified Swiss, even though it's a great format.
No, it certainly should not be. I love this tournament format so much. I've already told Popgun, because he saw it, he's like, wow, I've never seen this before. And I was like, well, Popgun, if you commentated for us, you know, you would have seen the format. But, you know, jokes aside, I knew he wasn't available.
Any other game.
I'm staring at you, Rocket League, League of Legends, Valorant, Counter-Strike, any other esport, they've run this before. So we're not doing anything special. It's special to the Splatoon scene because the Splatoon scene is so isolated.
So we're just behind the time is where we're.
Yes, correct.
Yes, yeah. At the end of the day, yes. I always like to say the Splatoon community is special in all of the best ways possible. But like, man, the Splatoon scene doesn't know crap. Like,
yes, sir.
They really don't. Like, I think that's why it frustrates folks like K-Bot and I, who are, you know, involved in esports scenes outside of Splatoon as well, especially within the academic scene, where you just have to kind of know a little bit of everything. You know,
your kids would not last a day out there.
No, they really wouldn't. Like Kira and I talk about it all the time, and she's like, damn, Kira TOs everything under the sun, it feels like. And she's just like, yeah, the Splatoon scene, I never understand it. Like, why, like, it just, certain things don't click with them.
It's because they're all high schoolers.
You two need to get your own show
in the room, and they're all high schoolers. Shout out to the Splatoon Stronghold census.
True.
I just want to shout out, like, specifically the approach the approach CCA took to their divs, how divs can actually promote like that. I cannot put in the words how cool of an idea that sounds like, because like I count Calc's div 5, and I think that div was fair. I don't have any complaints about like the div I got Calc back then, but I've gotten to a point where I'm not div 5 anymore. Like, just overall not, right? And I think a lot of players, you know, kind of have that tale where it's like they get a div, but then like, you know, it does take a lot of resources to actually run looting. Like, it takes a lot. So it's not easy to get the div, like, always calculated, and there's some team thing and all that. So I like the idea of it being more dynamic, being able to change actually mid-season like that. That is awesome. I love that.
Pastry, nobody thinks they're div 5 until 110 other teams, better teams, sign up with them. Also, I don't know what collegiate teams are complaining about. At least they get a new div twice a year instead of once every year and a half. So I don't know what they're complaining about here. It sounds reasonable
I think
enough
our community is
to me.
great. They don't really complain much because I think they do recognize just how privileged they are in that regard, where they're effectively going to get divisions 3 times in a given year now, given that they'll get a division adjustment between split 1 and 2 if deemed necessary. So I think that there is a lot of opportunity that the CCA provides these teams that you just don't get in the greater scene.
Can I put a footnote that DRF came out? You both need your own show at some
Yes.
Actually, what I think this is DRF, and I need to talk more in general.
I think that's literally what this is.
I love you.
Yeah.
I love you two already. My goodness. Real quickly, DRF. What teams are going to make Div 1 out of CCA? If you happen to know. Also, there's one team, and I think I think will automatically be Div 1. I might want to put them Div X if that ever existed in the CCA side. You might know what.
We will never do a Div X. I will start there. We will never do a Div X. We'll cap out a Div 1. But yeah, there's 2 teams that I think immediately come to mind for everybody. We'll start with the obvious one, which is PSU Blue. Now they're in a little bit of a situation right now. They're still trying to figure out, what and if they're going to be able to play. So shout out to Penn State though in general. They had, I heard, over 35 tryouts. And
wow.
Yeah, which is crazy numbers.
That is crazy numbers for Splatoon at any institution.
And I don't even K-Bot, do you get 35 people trying out for any of your other titles?
Hold on. Let's do some math here. PSU undergraduate population. Okay, student body at Penn State is 42,000 undergraduate students.
It's a very large school.
So let's take what do you say, 34? 34 divided by 35 divided by what did I just say? 42?
42,000.
4,200.
It's very small.
42,000. Yeah, let's go with 0.08. Okay, great. Now, the largest game that I had I had 21 total, counting my varsity roster, which was already decided. I had 21 or 20 Marvel Rivals tryouts with an undergraduate population of about 7,000. So afraid I still have them beat at 2.8%, but still crazy regardless.
Yes, no, certainly. When you get to the rates, it's Penn State. They have more people to work with, so yes. I think it's gonna be a little bit easier to find more Splatoon players. But those are numbers we still have never seen before in the Splatoon community. To get 35 tryouts, they're gonna run 6 teams this year, which God bless whoever the team manager is or whatever manager is. They are in for a time. So PSU Blue
a day.
Yeah. No, PSU Blue, assuming that things work out for them, they're going to be a team to watch out for.
I can't keep track of my 12 teams, and that's my full-time job. So good luck.
I know, the poor student manager.
Yeah.
Then the other team that I'm going to shout out here is one that I think some folks have have become more aware of, but that's going to be Las Crituras out of VCU. This is one of the single most stacked teams that has ever graced the CCA. This semester, from what I have heard, their roster is going to be Lux, who played with the Sea Cows, Fox, who has also played with the Sea Cows, and is also on Artifice, which is Div 1 Ludi, from last season. Havoc, who is just historically been a fantastic player, hasn't really played structured competitive in a while, but is,
So you're saying he's washed?
It's like riding a bike. Hey, but
So you're
honestly,
saying he's
washed, top level washed is still
Yes.
really
Oh.
dang good.
It is. I'm just poking fun at Havoc because he's poked fun at me on Twitter plenty of times. So all good.
And then lastly, Thunder out of Crush Soda apparently goes to VCU. So
Okay, they're winning.
Sources on this? Is this true? Is this true sources? Because when I heard this at Ripped, I'm like, what? Are you sure VCU has that NIL money somewhere?
VCU has told me this directly. I have to go look at their registration. I don't know if they put it in yet. But this on paper is one of the most stacked, if not the number one most stacked roster we have ever seen in the CCA.
I'm still speechless when I heard it. Yeah, go ahead, Pastry.
So they're winning, right? They're winning.
Well,
One
here's
would
the interesting
presume.
thing.
Oh
Here's the
no, we're gonna go on some
interesting thing.
PSU
Okay.
Bluetopia here, and all right, fine, let's hear it.
Well, see, the thing that I think is really interesting to CCA is that just because you have a top level player doesn't necessarily, make you the one that's going to win the whole
Yes, correct,
semester.
but they have 4. So,
But they do have 4. So I do think that this ultimately is going to be VCU's to lose. PSU is going to be the number one team to try to contest that. Now, will they be able to do so? Time will tell. PSU has played together more. So, if they have more of an actual team synergy, they've won the CCA twice in the last 2 years. So, is that going to play a factor? Yes. But is it going to be enough to catch up to the sheer raw talent that VCU is putting out there? That's going to be the number one question.
I do want to shout out PSU Blue real quick because they also had a really good placement at Riptide when I got to saw them in day 3 and made their run. They were the team that also beat LeBron and the Lakers actually too. I think that went to a game 5, so it was like, that's a team that you would think VCU it is their team to lose, but PSU Blue is still going to be pretty strong though.
All I'm gonna say with PSU Blue is that I have gripes with my fellow seeders from Riptide. Like, I called it from frame 1. I said PSU Blue will be a top 16 team. Now, on paper, seeding wise, I put them as the 19th seed, but nobody else had them, I think, in the top 25. Like,
I only
was
seeded
egregious.
through like 10.
You
so.
seeded the top 10, Kmon, so yeah. but like, I think
Kmon's clear. He's innocent.
Yeah.
Like, I think Popco put PSU Blue as like the 33rd seed or something, and I'm like, this is a team that beat the Sea Cows. Like, they smacked the Sea Cows. Like, why are we putting the Sea Cows on top, like seeding them over PSU Blue? So PSU Blue is a much stronger roster than I think a lot of people continue to even give them credit for. Now, this is going to be their biggest challenge yet. So I think that's going to be the number one storyline that everyone's going to be watching out for. I think that with the qualifiers, the way that these work out as well, being majority best of 3, because we're trying to run a fast qualifier, fast tournament, so there is very little wiggle room to kind of mess up. So we're going to get some more exciting storylines as well. I think that quick, just rattle off some teams that could surprise here. Towson is an up and coming team. They picked up Ori. Like, Ori is now playing in the CCA, which is absolutely absurd. So now Towson might have a chance because Kai has already shown up to be a star in the CCA. Now you paired him with someone as crazy as Ori as well. And now the question is, how is this dynamic going to work? Because again, raw talent, they're going to be a contender to hang in with that, top 6 group. UCSD has always been really good. Now they have to, figure out what is life going to be like post Goat Child, post Ocean Opal. Is Nerdy Adam ready to take this team to the next level? I don't know. How are these new roster additions going to work? Because the nature of collegiate is that rosters are changing every year, if not every semester. Like, that's going to be a thing. The University of Florida, they came up short twice last year. 2nd place in the circuit, 2nd place in the league. Henlo was a big part of that, but Henlo graduated. What is going to be University of Florida's game plan now? Like, it just goes on and on and on. That collegiate is so dynamic, and that's what makes it interesting. Combine that with the circuit format being so fast and so little room for error that I think that you'll see a couple of surprise teams make their way up to the top and contend. But at the end of the day, PSU versus VCU is where we're going to be seeing, I think, our finals match come December 7th or whatever day it is.
I'll go on the
your
record.
own finals date, SMH.
It's the 7th. Yes. Okay. I got it off the top of my head.
I was about to roast you. Was about to roast you for good after that one. Quick comment here. I mean, DRF also you have to consider that CCAL's probably have participated in tournaments outside of CCA versus what PSU Blue, which I feel like it's once in a while. So that's probably where you can see some of that warp seeding logic.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's good. That's bound to happen. That's bound to happen for sure. But yeah, thank you for giving us the rundown. There will be collegiate segments in the future centered around Division 1 for those. Keeping tabs on that. That'll be fun, and I still want to know where VCU got that NIL money from to get Havoc and Thunder.
I know, yeah. Like the NIL money must be real strong.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know Splatoon had NIL
There's
money.
Splatoon players already. It's all over.
Oh,
All right.
gosh.